Welcome to the Flieger Magazin live stream from EAA AirVenture 2025 in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I'm Thomas Borchert, editor-in-chief of Flieger Magazin, and right next to me is Josh from ForeFlight. And apologies to our American viewers, but we will switch to German for about 30 seconds, because we're a German general aviation magazine. Ja, willkommen zum Livestream vom Fliegermagazin. Entschuldigung für den englischsprachigen Start, aber wir haben diesmal nicht nur euch alle zugeschaltet aus Deutschland und ich freue mich sehr, dass ihr dabei seid, sondern wir haben auch dabei das amerikanische Publikum auf den Kanälen von ForeFlight. Und wollen jetzt, wir sind zu Besuch bei ForeFlight, hier auf dem Stand am AirVenture. Wir sind direkt an der Boeing Plaza. Neben uns steht ein großer Militärtanker. Ich vergesse die Nummern immer. Und der Josh von ForeFlight ist neben mir. Wir wollen ein bisschen über die neuen Features von ForeFlight sprechen, euch einen kleinen Ausblick geben, auch eure Fragen natürlich beantworten. Je nachdem, wie es so läuft, also ich würde mich freuen, wenn mal einer sagt, ob ihr uns hört, ob ihr uns seht, ob alles gut ist in den Kommentaren. Das wäre super. Und ansonsten muss ich jetzt leider wieder auf Englisch wechseln, weil der Josh halt auch nur Englisch spricht. Ich hoffe, das ist okay für alle. Wie gesagt, wir freuen uns, wenn wir mal was von euch hören, ob die Soundqualität gut ist. Switching back to English, apologies for that to the American viewers, but I was just saying that we're very happy to see your comments and questions here. We will discuss some upcoming and current features of ForeFlight, new features of ForeFlight. And if you have questions or comments, feel free to post them. We're going to see them. We're going to reply to all of them.
Yeah, sounds good.
So here we go. Josh, did we want to start right away by demoing something, or no, we should say where we are in Oshkosh?
Yeah,
here.
So absolutely. So if you'll see over my shoulder, we're at the Runway retreat, which is something new that we've done at ForeFlight this year. The idea is it's a way to show appreciation to our customers and just pilots in general. It's a place where you can come meet up with different groups that we have. We have different schedules every day. This morning we had a content creator meetup. We're having folks come over later for the women venture part of ForeFlight, the Runway retreat. So we'll have that later on today. You can get some popcorn. We have all sorts of free swag over here too. And we're right next to the Boeing booth. So you can't miss us. Great place to hang out.
Right. Is that, while you mention it, is that something we can discuss? I mean, you're at the Boeing booth, but everybody has read the news that you will not be part of Boeing much longer, or are you still? I don't know how that works.
Yeah, so we still are part of Boeing as of right now. The spin-off of both ForeFlight and Jeppesen hasn't occurred yet, but that is happening probably by the end of the year. At this point, more information will be on the Boeing media website as they have it.
Right.
So right now, we're still part of Boeing. We're still in the Boeing booth, so we haven't moved anywhere.
Right.
And we've got 19 iPads inside to show all sorts of new things.
Right. So where are you going to be next year?
Well, we don't know. We're already looking for space.
Right.
We are pretty busy every year. We really like also the Runway retreat, so we're going to look for a good sized space and see what we can do. But we expect to be here next year.
Okay, cool. It's very hot and humid here because the Runway retreat is outside and it rained this morning. That always makes it wet in Oshkosh. But anyways, let's dive right in, right?
Sounds good.
So I'm switching to the iPad so that we can see what we're seeing.
Perfect.
And
Sounds
this
good.
is what we're seeing.
Yeah, so first thing we're going to talk about is actually our dynamic procedures feature that's coming out here soon. We just announced it last week, and generally the idea is that this feature will be launched starting with the US, Canada, and Pacific Islands. We will have more coverage coming soon for other regions, especially in Europe.
So there's no timing on when it's going to be introduced into Europe?
Not yet. So what we really want to make sure is that we've got the data right, because the idea with this is supposed to augment the experience of looking at an instrument procedure plate. So the plate is still directly on the map, and the way that this will work is once you have an airport that is your destination and you add a a procedure, it will bring the plate directly to the map, so you have it. We'll be able to highlight the MSA directly on the map. That's what this orange ring is here. And then we're adding in this sidebar. And what the sidebar will do is give you different information that you need that you would find on the plate directly, but now you can see it here as well. So it's just another way of seeing similar information, but we're not replacing the plate at this point. It's an addition, and making it just more user-friendly.
But basically it is a little bit leaving the paper paradigm of just showing the chart on the map. Rather, you're kind of working with the information that is on the map, on the chart, and present it in a more, digital format.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
all the advantages that digital offers.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think we've gone through the evolution of paper and then paper-like products going into, a PDF where you can see it digitally on a screen.
Right.
And now we're just pulling out those additional insights. So, for instance, on here, we've got things like the different communication frequencies, and you'll be able to swipe through those. Because I picked Austin, which is where one of our home bases is, there's lots of frequencies there. Mm-hmm. You'll be able to see a section with notes. You'll be able to see, what does that route for that actual procedure look like? How long are those, each one of those legs?
And will it follow? Yes, it's marking the first one as you fly it. It's magenta.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it will move through the list.
Exactly. So you'll be able to see that change as you're doing that. You'll be able to see a 3D view that'll be on here as well, with two different steps. So either approach lights or also an angle for a short final, so that you can get a sight picture for that, and missed approach information as well. The thing that's really cool about this, one more thing that's really cool about all of this, is in the profile view, we'll now have a section that is for approach. And what that will do is that will show you that profile that you would have on the map, that you would have, or on the plate that you would have right here. It shows that to you in that similar format but digital in the profile view, where you can either look just at the approach or you can look at the entire route and see that in context as well.
Can you envision a point where the chart wouldn't be in there anymore and you would just work with the information that is on the sidebar in the dynamic chart?
I think we can all envision that. At this point, there's not really any regulation on how all of that would work, either here in the US or otherwise. So I think at this point, we want to start here. This is an evolution of what's next, and then I think this will bring us into the future, and we'll see what happens.
But are you required by regulations to have the chart displayed there?
Yes, so we also even note at the top of it, of the sidebar, where it says verify with chart, because you're required to use those sources. This is just augmenting that experience and giving you a little bit more context.
So you're saying at some point this will be coming to Europe? So we're getting a sneak preview here, if you will. When is it going to be rolled out in the US?
In the US, it'll be coming very soon. So I would expect the next week or so at this point. And we've got it here at Oshkosh. So if you haven't seen it and you're here at the show, all of the iPads inside the Boeing Pavilion have it, and we can walk through it with you there.
Right.
But yeah, we have some work to do on the European front and other places that we also serve around the world.
Now, as you know, so this is for IFR charts,
This is for IFR, yes.
As you know, we have these VFR charts depicting very complex traffic patterns in Europe. Bad habit, but we do have those. So would this kind of work on those too? Is it a matter of you analyzing the data and putting it in there?
That's exactly right. So I think right now, we already have some of the data directly on the map. So for instance, if I was to go to somewhere like Egelsbach,
we're in Frankfurt now, right, in Germany, yes.
Yep. And then I move down. We have the procedures directly on the map.
Right.
And I would love to see that, where you could get that same level of information.
Right.
So maybe more to come on that soon. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see what we can do for you guys.
Yeah. Okay, good. What else is new with ForeFlight?
Yeah, so some of the things that have been really beneficial that we've added, we've tried to really focus on what can we do to make the pilot experience just better. Small moves in the right direction. And one of the things that we have made adjustments on is the way that you can interact with single tapping on the screen. So for anybody that has ForeFlight, this may look a little bit crazy. I've got everything we have in the world on here, so it's going to be a very long list. But if I turned on things like AirMets and SIGMETs, and then also things like graphical NOTAMs.
Yeah.
Sometime that information will overlap on the screen, and previously airports have always taken precedence. So if you tap on an airport, you wouldn't be able to see that NOTAM information. Now you'll be able to tap anywhere, and we have it come up. So airports is in the list, and we've organized this into different sections, so it makes it a little bit easier to find information over time.
Yes.
So again, small moves in the right direction.
Right. While we're doing this,
Yeah.
can you briefly tap on traffic and show Oshkosh just for fun?
Let's see if I've got this connected up to the network. So
Because it's pulling in internet traffic, and so it will ideally.
yeah, let me see. I may need to just connect to our Wi-Fi briefly. So
I think you are connected.
yeah, that's
to
what I wanted
there.
to check. So for some reason it says
mm.
we're not, but I can connect to my phone real
Right.
quick.
Just wanted to
No
give
passwords.
you us give you us an impression of what traffic
Sure.
looks like here.
Yeah, and today's a tough one because it's a little bit cloudier, but it's starting to look a
Yeah.
little bit better out there. So
I know.
we'll
yes,
see what's going on.
But it's still going to be busy, I think.
Yeah,
I hope.
probably. So we'll let that load up for
Yes.
just a minute. So
Yeah, there it is.
No shortage of traffic coming
Right.
in, and
Right. Yes.
if you, I don't have it downloaded on this iPad. I didn't get it there in time, but
Right.
we also have the Fisk arrival directly on the
Right.
map. So you won't see it here, but if you've got the latest aeronautical download, you'll be able to see it regardless of if you're in Europe
Right.
or
And
US.
just to make sense of this picture, Oshkosh Airport on the upper right, and then everybody coming in along the railroad tracks to
Yeah.
that's close enough the airport, right? And there's Fisk to the left in the middle of the picture, and everybody's coming up along the railroad tracks, going into Fisk and then landing on the field.
No shortage of planes coming
Not
in.
at all.
So not for the faint of heart, but
Right.
definitely a great experience to fly in here.
Absolutely, yes. Anyways,
What else do we
I
have?
was digressing. What else do you got?
Yeah, so maybe we can talk a little bit about what's on the screen behind me
Right.
that all
Don't know
users
how
can do.
well that is visible, but I switched to the other camera.
That's okay.
Let's see, this one.
Perfect. So what we have going on behind us over here is we've added a new debrief functionality. And what this will allow you to do is if you go to plan.foreflight.com, so for those of you that don't know, we do have a website that you can do all your planning on as well, and it will synchronize with the iPad and the iPhones. But plan.foreflight.com. And if you were to go to the track log section, we now have the ability to see scoring for different things on your route. So different potential procedures that you're doing, steep turns and otherwise.
So it would say you did those steep turns well, like 8 out of 10 or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. It's out of 100 is
Okay.
the way that it works, but it will color code them either green, yellow, or red, and it'll let you know what you've done. You can replay that particular section because we're able to detect which part of your flight was
Right.
doing that. A few years ago, we acquired Cloud Ahoy, and this is moving us in that direction of now having some integration directly into ForeFlight products. The cool thing with this one is, especially for the Europeans out there, this now includes the entire world.
Oh.
So before, it was mostly the US with some other regions built in. With this, you'll be able to see, procedures for different places, because it's not just about VFR, it's also IFR procedures.
Does it rate
too.
your approach speeds and all that stuff?
All of it, yeah.
Right,
Hey, were
yeah,
you
yeah.
under the altitude you were supposed to be at? So
Is it aircraft type specific? So will it say you were too slow for the airplane you're flying?
potentially, yeah. And we'll also have at the bottom, you'll be able to see a graph of your entire flight and see what were those speeds, what were the altitudes doing along the
Yes.
way. So this is something new. We plan to add on more and more here as well, but it's definitely worth checking out.
But it's not in the app. It is in on the website only.
Just on the website for now, yeah.
Right. Yes. And since I really do think that few people use planning the flights on the website, but it does sync with the app automatically and all that.
Yeah.
Right? If you plan a flight on the website, it'll be in the app once you open the app.
Exactly, and it's included with your subscription. So
Right.
there's nothing new that you have to add there. Just check out plan.foreflight.com.
Right.
One other really neat function that I want to show you here on the screen too,
Right.
something new that we've added was cameras. And this is another place where we'll see more expansion over time, but we added in the FAA camera feed. So let me turn off a couple things because we've got
Right.
our map a little bit cluttered here.
There's an FAA camera feed.
There's an FAA camera feed. So basically what they're doing is they're taking different feeds from either different government agencies or different groups around the country that have these webcams either at airports or even mountain passes like in Colorado or in Alaska. So you can see this information
Right.
and get a sense of, what is the weather looking like there. So I'm going to
Right.
use Colorado as an example. In here, and as you can see, we've got the grid Mora up on the map, and there's some very high elevations
Right.
in Colorado.
And that
so
camera icon does
Yeah,
the trick then.
exactly. So you've got the
But
camera
it's not,
icon here.
you don't have it in Europe yet.
Not yet. So this is something that we just released now, and the idea is as we have access to more feeds, we'll be adding them
Right.
for Europe and other places in the world too.
I mean, for Europe, it's nice in the US that the FAA kind of collects all the information
Yeah.
for you, and then you just use it. And
Exactly.
Europe, you'd probably have to do that yourselves, right?
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll work with others that have these feeds and add them to our general feed over time.
Right.
And then we'll work with some partners who also have different types of like weather measuring equipment that have the webcams on
Right.
them too.
Right.
But on the map, what they'll do is they'll show the directionality of where those cameras are actually pointing, and if you tap on it, what it will do is it'll load up an image from
That is
those
nice.
webcams.
Yes.
It'll give you a time, it'll give you a direction as well, so you can get a general idea of
Yeah.
what's going on. And if you tap
So
on
let's
them,
go fly in Colorado, I would say.
right? Looks like it's going to be nice. So it'll tell you where this camera is, and then it'll also give you an idea of what a clear day image looks like as well.
Oh.
And it'll point out certain areas. This is how the FAA provides it. Other providers may not have that clear day
Right.
image. But we'll see what we do there. We know this sort of feed also exists in Canada, for instance.
Right.
Where it's
And
being
many
put
pilots are
together.
looking up webcams anyway, so it's
Yeah.
really convenient to have it in the app.
Exactly. The goal is more of what we can do here directly in the app to serve the pilot community, so you don't have to go to all these different
Right.
places to
Yeah.
look.
Let me just briefly say, your questions are more than welcome, so if you have any, post them. Auf Deutsch auch nochmal gerne auf Deutsch Fragen stellen, das ist natürlich überhaupt kein Problem, ich übersetze die gern, gar kein Thema. Also bitte stellt gerne eure Fragen. We've got one question already from Deadline 1987. Has ForeFlight been looking at how to integrate AI into the platform?
Yeah, so we've already done some of that. So we've done some things where we've worked with summarization, for instance, so around comments, airport remarks. So if you were to go into an airport, and I'm going to find, let's see if we've got anything for Oshkosh since we're
Right,
here.
yes.
So if we go into Oshkosh and we go into the comments section,
Yeah, there's some.
there's going to be this pilot summary that's going to load at the top. And basically what it's doing that you've seen in other places, I see it on Amazon.com when I go shopping.
Yep.
What it's doing is it's trying to AI generate those comments based on what are all the different things that have been posted over time. So
Right.
it's really important. More pilots post things in here, and this works in Europe as well. If you were to post comments in the airport, other pilots will be able to see those and get information about what
How
they
much
need.
is that feature used in Europe? Are pilots a little bit more timid to post comments than they are in the US?
Honestly, I think a lot of people don't realize we have the feature as
Right.
much, which is why it's important. We learn these things about airports. There's a lot of them that exist in the world. So what can we be doing to help out our fellow community
Right.
there?
Yes. Yes, I would love to see more comments. Really.
Yeah, more comments. Fuel prices is another one. We have fuel prices that are in the app.
So you can report fuel prices as a pilot?
You can. So if you were to go into the airport, and then right now it's called the FBO section.
Right.
If
And
we
FBO, just
have-
to briefly explain, because it's a very American term, FBO stands for Fixed Base Operator and briefly in German. Das heißt halt, also es ist aus der Anfängen der Fliegerei in den 20er, 30er Jahren, da gab es halt viele Leute, die nicht an einem bestimmten Ort waren, sondern als Mechaniker durch die Gegend reisten oder so. Und jemand, der an einer Fixed Base seinen Betrieb hatte, der also an einem Ort seine Dienste anbot, der hieß dann Fixed Base Operator. Und da kommt dieser Begriff her. Heute steht er für im Grunde ein Dienstleister am Airport, der üblicherweise Sprit verkauft, vielleicht auch Wartung bietet, Catering und solche Sachen, aber auf jeden Fall Wartung halt. Das heißt, auch in Deutschland wäre es eben so, dass man den Spritpreis unter diesem Kürzel FBO einträgt. Sorry for that.
No, I understood some, but that's
Right.
okay. So what it will do in the app is if you turn on the 100 low lead layer, or we also have a Jet A layer,
Right.
what you'll be able to see is
Even
different
fuel prices in the chart, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So they'll show up on the map around, so we can tap on one of these. So we've got this one in Clifton Municipal that's got some 100 low lead fuel. It's for 1 gallon is $5.40 US. So I
Right.
know gallon is also sometimes foreign concept. 3.8
3.8 liters.
Yeah. So roughly that. What you can do when you come in here is you'll actually see the price, and then it will give you a timestamp of the last time it was updated. So this one was updated a month ago, for instance.
Right.
Likely the price has changed.
Shall we try find one in Europe?
Yeah, we can do that too.
Try Egglesbach again.
Yeah, let's do it.
Just because it's one of the lesser known features.
Yeah, no problem.
And also,
Let's see if we've got it for Egglesbach.
Oh, good luck. So there's contact information for rental car agencies.
Yep, and we do have the Jet A price there as of right now, but let's take a look around. So we've got this one down here too.
Right. That looks like an AFCAS price.
Yeah, so
Right.
it's got both in there.
So let's briefly do the math. That's €3 per liter, which is 3.9, something like 11 euros per gallon,
Yeah.
which turns out to be $14, $13 per gallon.
Pretty expensive.
So you guys in the US have it good.
Yeah, I know, and sometimes we complain about our prices as well, but that is definitely a different price.
So we had, what was it, 540 in
$5.40,
Colorado?
and that's a good price. In our area, it's more like $6 to $8, $9 a
and
gallon.
we were at 13 something in Germany.
Yeah, exactly.
Just for comparison.
So the way we'll show these in here is we actually have self-service prices and
Right.
full service prices. So you'll be able to see the difference there.
Right.
And if we were to tap on this 100 low lead, which was updated a month ago,
Right.
you can either confirm the price or report the price change.
Right.
So if we
And
were,
then would that be verified? No, it would just go in.
yeah, so the way that it works is if the price is within a certain percentage changed, it will move automatically. If it's a drastic change, that's where it'll go to our team, our data operations team, and they will look to try to verify the
Right.
price
Got
in
it.
there.
Can you look in the comment section for that, just for
Yep.
kicks?
We've got one.
So there is a comment
two.
by Maximilian B and another one by DB. Right, yeah, nice.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
I can only encourage German pilots to use this more. On the other hand, there are several places where you can leave comments with airplanes, about airports. So, you have to make a decision, right, where you leave your comment.
Yeah, here's another great one that's in there too. So that was the
Yeah.
comments based on each of the different businesses.
Right.
This one also is in there. It says great restaurant on the side. So
Right, yeah.
great
It also
place to
says
travel.
payment via app. That's for the landing fees
Yeah.
that you Americans are not familiar with at all either.
We're s-
Right. Yeah, that's a good question by Air Felix, and we're going to get to it in a moment. But interesting, right? So cool feature, and one can only encourage the pilot community to kind of enter fuel prices there to keep us all updated.
Yeah, exactly. And going back to the question about AI, I expect that we'll probably have more here in the future as well.
Right. Yes. AI could also be helping collecting the webcam info where you don't have it.
Sure.
Centralized. Yes.
Yeah, there's all sorts
But-
of use cases.
Right. But for the actual, flight planning side of it, avoiding terrain or weather, is that something that AI could help with?
There's definitely potential there. I don't know if we have anything in the works at the moment with it, but there's definitely questions about what else can we be doing to help at least bring up these different instances
Right.
to make it easier to fly.
Right. So Air Felix is asking, so the position of the aircraft, both in north up and track up, is centered to the screen instead of the visible chart area or map area. What he's referencing to is if you do this, then the airplane, the center of the map, the airplane that moves, doesn't move down with it.
Got it.
And even especially when you now can kind of change the size of that thing up there, it would make even more sense to have it automatically center on the
and do it
on
based
the
on
visible area.
Yeah, the visible space or the remaining space on the screen. I mean, that's a great idea, and that's something we can look at. I would say for everybody out there, if you have this type of feedback or there's something you want to see in ForeFlight, that's how we've gotten better over the years. We're really customer centric.
Right.
Is email team@foreflight.com. All of that feedback ends up going to our product team. And we review it, and that's how we make decisions. Is what do people really need?
Right.
Out
That's
there?
a really neat idea, I think.
Yeah, I think so
there
too.
There was a discussion in a German online forum a while, and maybe AirFelix was in that, but it's a really good suggestion, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fantastic.
The address again, team@foreflight.com.
That's correct, and that goes straight to our pilot support team, and then they'll get it filed in the right spot for us.
Right. Yep. Right. Yes. Okay. So AirFelix confirms that we understood his question correctly. Cool. Okay. Any other question? Oh, he did write an email. So you've got it already.
Perfect. So it's probably already on our list.
Excellent. On the potential feature list for the August meeting.
Yeah. We'll see.
Anyways, if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask them. What else should we talk about? We may have covered it.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely more in here. I would say one thing that people may not have used as much in the app that we want to encourage is more education.
Right.
So we released this last year, but we have the Discover section, and we have...
I've never seen that. Is that in the app?
Yeah, it came out last year,
All right.
and that's okay. So we're going to talk about it now. Generally, the idea in here is we've got it split into a couple of different categories. So I'm going to start where it drops you off, which is the events section. And right now, it's pretty light in Europe, meaning nothing at the moment. And this is something that right now we're pulling in a feed from US AOPA, we're pulling in a feed from EAA. We are working with our partners with IAOPA Europe as well, and we expect more events to be in here soon.
Right.
But we are going to be expanding this coming soon, where you'll be able to add your own events in as well.
Right. Feel free to use the events page on www.fliegermagazin.de.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah,
We'd love to see that in
Absolutely.
here.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll be able to see those events. So for example, if we were to look at something in the US, if you tap on it and see this Young Eagles rally, it'll give you all the information you need, again, just directly in ForeFlight. So this is more about education, community, those types of things that we want to kind of expand more into. If we go back to the sidebar, we also have the education sections as well. So we have a getting started section, and this is going to be all of the different videos that we have on foreflight.com/video, and then they're just right here. So we could start and watch a video.
Are there any German language videos that Wolfgang did? Wolfgang Österreich is kind of your German customer relations representatives. I call him, it's probably not his proper position.
That's okay.
But still. So are there any German language ones?
We do. They're not directly on the Discover tab yet, because we're looking at how can we allow somebody to do a little bit more filtering on the videos by language or otherwise, or by region of the world if we have things that are more specific. Those are still going to be on foreflight.com/video. So we do our videos. So we do still have those available to watch all the time.
Right.
The last section on here that is coming out in the next release will be helpful, because we've had people tell us, hey, I know something's coming, but it's not quite there. This version that I have isn't completely up to date, so I apologize for that, but we'll have a what's new section that will be in the app. So that's why you're seeing some of the placeholder text, but it's going to show everything that's come out in the bigger features this year, as well with a link to go to the ForeFlight release page to get more information. So if you're not sure if something is available, or there was a new download of ForeFlight, this is a great hub that you can go in and learn more.
Right. Deadline 1987 says when Apple glasses are released, AR HUD would be game-changing.
It definitely would. I guess we'll see what's out there. I mean, we've been watching the reactions when the Vision Pro came out, right? And even though it's augmented reality, and yes, there's a screen that you can see out, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with more of these glasses and how the regulators kind of feel about them being in the cockpit.
I mean, augmented reality is something that would obviously lend itself to glasses like that, even if it's consumer grade stuff that everybody could have pretty much.
Exactly, especially if you have a backup.
Yeah, it could be navigational information, not necessarily, displaying an approach or something, but still giving some guidance that is not, kind of like that is advisory in nature.
Yeah, or even, in ForeFlight we have the notifications that pop up in the middle of the screen when there's traffic nearby or something, and maybe you have that on your knee and you're not connected to Bluetooth. We wouldn't want to necessarily flash too much in your eye, but if there was some subtle way of indicating that there was something nearby, I think that would be great.
Yeah. There's another tip that many people don't realize, that ForeFlight doesn't only display information, it also talks to you.
It does, yes.
So it really makes sense to hook it up to your Bluetooth headset, because it will tell you the ADIS frequency when you get close to an airfield, to your destination.
Yep.
That is, it will advise you of traffic,
it'll also,
airspace,
if you're
all
coming
kinds of things.
on near a runway, it'll say you're approaching the runway, and then once you enter it, how much distance is left on the runway.
Which is really neat.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's just trying to keep you informed of what's going on.
Right. Yeah. If you guys don't have any more questions, I think we're good, right?
Yeah.
Yes. We ran for half an hour, so that's a very good time. Thank you very much, Josh.
Yeah, thanks so much, Thomas.
Thank you very much for being there. Vielen Dank, dass ihr alle dabei wart. Vielen Dank fürs Anschauen. Ich hoffe, es war spannend. Und wir müssen noch ein bisschen rumlaufen hier in Oshkosh. Oben drüber fliegt gerade eine B29, glaube ich, eine von zwei, die überhaupt noch fliegen. Insofern, es gibt viel zu sehen hier. Much to see in Oshkosh. There's just a B29 flying over the top of us. So
that's the best part.
It's awesome, isn't it? Yes. So we're gonna have some fun here, and if you are coming here, feel free to drop by. Right? The Runway Retreat.
Runway Retreat. It'll be open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 4.
Got it. Thank you very much, Josh.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.